morning, everyone. Welcome to the Seneca County Board of Commissioner meeting. Today's Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. And we'll begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please pray with me. Dear Lord, please help to give us your will and guidance here as we go to discuss business affecting the county and our residents. Help us to do your will and make the best decisions possible for our residents. Please, we ask for a special prayer for our armed forces, our veterans, and the people fighting for our freedoms overseas that we don't always see every day. Please cloak them in your protection. In your name we pray. Amen.
Good. Roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Here.
Commissioner Schuff?
Here.
Commissioner Frankert?
Here. So at this time, I'll accept the motion to approve the digital audio recording of our previous board session, Thursday, September 26, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Frankert?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes. Thank you. So first item on the agenda, right at 10 o'clock, we have a bid opening for the jail virtual attorney visitation room. I think I'll turn it over to you, Michael. You're going to handle it from here. Barb.
There's
turn
a
over-
sign-in sheet that's going around, everyone needs to sign.
Barb
please.
Patterson and Michael Worth, architect, are here. We need the sign-in sheet filled out. Thank
Yep.
you. Take a pause, get that done. And then you got the floor. Thank you. You have the floor.
Okay, go ahead and get started.
Yep.
All right, thank you, commissioners. As you know, this is the second time around. We received zero bids the first time we went out for this this project. I'm happy to report there's 2 bids that came through, and I just fetched them. The bid closed at 10 o'clock. Looks like we received bids from Branham Builders and ACI Construction. I will open up Branham Builders first.
Can you spell their name for me, please?
BRANHAM.
Thank you.
Branham Builders base bid total, $304,950.00. ACI Construction, as a reminder, the estimate that was advertised was $305,200. ACI Construction, $334,000 even. So we have 2 good bids, and we will review the attached documents and provide a letter to the commissioners for a recommendation.
Can you give me Branham Builders bid amount one more time, please?
$304,950.
Thank you.
And ACI was 304 flat, right?
They were $334.
334.
Correct.
Okay, anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Good. Okay, back to you.
Thank you.
So we have a couple minutes because it's 10:05.
5, okay.
We'll have another bid opening.
We will, I will pass around that sign-in sheet for that one as well. Thank you.
So we have 2 minutes. I have a little Seneca County trivia for everybody. It's our 200th birthday we're celebrating this year. Thanks to Sherry. She digs these fun facts up. So I'm in a little bit of a stall mode till 10:05, so we've got a couple things here to read to you. October 1st, 1898, Heidelberg football team played Ohio State for the first time, and they lost 17-0. Heidelberg, Ohio State, 1898. So this was also the first game ever played on the Buckeyes' new University Field, which was renamed Ohio Field in 1908, eventually replaced by the Horseshoe. So the student princes, I don't know what they were back then. They went on the road to play Ohio State. That's pretty cool. October 3rd, 1947, on this day, FM WTTF went live as FM 98.3 on air for the first time. The official broadcast was the Tiffin Calvert Marion football game, 1947, October 3rd. It's good stuff. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So, thanks, Sherry. Kind of fun. What time do we have? 10:00?
Years, you got probably less.
I got time for one more?
One more, yeah.
One more,
Right
yeah.
out there.
All right, good. September 29th, 1817. 1817, the Treaty of Maumee Rapids was signed by leaders of 7 Native American tribes and representatives of the United States government. By this treaty, the tribes relinquished their claims to 4.6 million acres of land in northwest Ohio, which included present-day Seneca County. As part of the treaty, 30,000 acres of land east of the Sandusky River were set aside for the exclusive use of the Senecas. So, 1817. Good history.
Okay.
Okay, back to you, it's 10:05.
Yep.
Thanks.
So this is a proposal opening instead of a bid opening for the 2024 Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG Administrator. I received one bid. And it is from Fostoria Economic Development Corporation. I'm gonna skim through real quick to see if there is.
I think we do this every 3 years. Is it a
I
3 year?
believe it is,
Great. We're doing it now, so it's good.
I believe that is all that is necessary. Their cost proposal is up to $25,000.
Which is a percentage of the grant.
Yeah. Their
Up
estimate-
to.
Yeah, up to their total administrative cost be up to $25,000.
Okay, so.
So they get a huge one, I mean, 25,000 is the max.
I believe it is.
Right.
I believe
Yeah, I think
it
it
is.
is the max.
It's- it's
So they're
percentage.
just following the state contract.
Yep.
Yep, that's exactly how it was bid, based off of the information from the state. So,
Okay. So,
I will contact them. Well, there is
Some point
actually,
we'll
there
have
is a
to take
process that
action.
we need to score them. So there is a little bit of a process, so we'll get that taken care of, and then, we can move forward.
so the public knows when somebody has to pay for something. So when most grants, the way we work it is if we get the grant, then you get paid a percentage. If we don't get the grant, nobody gets paid. And we pay them a fee, the commissioners, to write all the grants to cover the base overhead, but there's always an incentive to write more grants. Then the grants will give you a range from 0 as high as 15, 20%, maybe even 25 in this case, that charges administrative fee. And that's a arbitrary number. Obviously, the lower the administrative fee, the more money goes back into projects and into the county. So we do keep an eye on that as we apply for various grants. So this is just a broad contract with big variants that'll probably be in place. Is there a limit on that, 3 years or 5 years? And then we're good.
I'm just kind of skimming through, so I don't really know if
Yeah.
there is.
You can tell us later, but it should be in there.
Okay.
Right. And then when we finalize it, we'll let everybody know how. long.
Yeah, because we'll actually enter into a contract for it. So-
Okay. Do we need to do anything else?
Nope, I believe that's all we need to do at this point.
Carol, would you like to come up? We
Oh,
have the Veteran
I'm
Services
coming up.
here. We're just jumping right in, yeah.
Hey, I see
Come
that.
on
All
up.
right, that's all right. I do have something for you.
We have the fire plug here today. She's all, like you always are, ready to go. And,
Yeah, I was caught off guard a little bit. Chair,
But thank you.
around for me. I think I have enough for each of you, so you can follow along there. And I still have one for myself. All right. So each year, we ask for a budget
Thank you.
hearing prior to the implementation of next year's budget. So this is our chance, though we do see you throughout the year quite often, this is our chance to kind of touch base with what our office is doing and how we're functioning, and how we're taking care of the veterans in our county. And so what I just handed you is from a report that I developed with the state of Ohio, and then they returned this to our office, and it kind of shows us how we're working with the VA. So for each county dollar that we spend to run the office and out south of town, we bring in 57 VA dollars. So your return is 57 to 1. Despite our population decreasing, we brought in $2 million more dollars. That was an increase for between
Wow.
22 and 23. So this is all based on last year's numbers.
So you're always a year or two behind
Yes.
in the data, makes
Yes.
sense.
Yeah, because we got to do the reporting, and
Yeah.
we never know prior.
Yeah, good.
And, you know, honestly, those numbers will fluctuate moving forward, up and down, same as our budgeting, you know, depending on what the year brings. There's no way for our office to predict how many veterans will pass away, how many veterans will enroll in healthcare, how many veterans will want transportation to healthcare. We don't have the ability to foresee that, to project that. So everything is done somewhat delayed. But
Good.
we have some exciting things happening. We have a clinic opening in Findlay, Ohio, a VA clinic. Currently, our office transports to Toledo and Ann Arbor, and when that clinic opens in Findlay, we will incorporate transportation to that clinic as well. We are investigating the possibility of expanding transportation, but nothing has been solidified at this juncture. But we're hoping that we'll be able to move forward and incorporate Sandusky Clinic and Cleveland. One of the issues that we need to address is interest. Veterans who live in Seneca County, would they be interested in transportation through our office to those particular clinics? So we're going to work on finding out what that interest would be. And then hopefully, when our budget's in place at the beginning of the year, if we have interest, we'll move forward.
Finley's a lot closer than Ann Arbor.
It is, but it's a very, very, very small clinic. They
Yeah.
don't offer all the
Can do the
services.
I was gonna ask what the difference is
Yes.
between.
So they will have a lab, they will have mental health, and they will have a primary caregiver. That's what I understand.
So you can go
And
get
the-
scripts renewed, things
That's all
like
on
that.
TV is.
They have a pharmacy.
That's what I saw on the news the other day, it said pharmacy.
Evidently, the news is reporting they have a pharmacy, but I did not believe they were going to have a pharmacy. I
It's
thought
probably
the-
just mail order.
I'm wondering if the medicine will still come out of Ann Arbor.
But for simple follow-up checkups, or script
Absolutely.
renewals, or anything like that, that makes a lot of sense. Instead of going all the way to,
A lot of veterans have
you know,
issues where they require to take blood thinners.
yeah.
And the most favorite blood thinner still is Coumadin, unfortunately. There are better ones out there, but Coumadin is very inexpensive, but it does require a blood check, and you have to get that done. Well, you gotta go and get this, so that means it's 40 miles to Toledo, 40 miles back to Tiffin. And that takes time and
Sure.
money, finances, so. But we're very excited about our upcoming year. Do you have any questions for me?
So you guys, your bus toured, your veterans?
I actually am not a part of the Seneca County Vietnam bus. But we support them and help answer questions if you like, but I don't have a whole lot of details. I do know they're leaving.
Ken has
Yeah,
some
maybe
information. He was the
Ken, you want to report on that? Because
Down about.
my commissioners, they do attend those meetings.
Oh, yeah, on the bus stop.
yes.
The first bus is leaving. By the way, both buses this year are full, and I got word last night that the 2025 buses are full.
Really? That's
Wow.
awesome. You got an October and November bus, right? that you guys
Yes.
are doing? Yep.
The October bus is leaving October 25th, return on the 27th. And November bus is leaving on the 1st to return on the 3rd.
That's great.
And they would like a homecoming at the fairgrounds when the bus returns on Sunday night.
Okay.
They've
Yeah.
asked for the honor for it. And I think they're working with Heidelberg, get the Heidelberg band out there for the homecoming.
You have a ballpark, I know things could happen, traffic and stuff. What time's the planned return?
Last year was 10 o'clock.
Last year was 10 o'clock, but it got delayed. I'm thinking it's more like 7, 8 o'clock in that ballpark.
Okay.
Yeah, they had problems with the drivers running out of their DOT hours in Youngstown, so they had to bring another driver up to replace the driver to finish the trip to Tiffin.
Oh, yep.
And didn't they have one of the vans lined up and they bailed?
That's how it flows.
Yeah, they had a band lined up and it was pouring down rain and they didn't show up.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was.
Could you guys just send us like an email to just reminder and stuff on, you know, kind of the dates and stuff, so that
Okay.
way we can get on our calendar and stuff, so
Yeah,
I'd love to be there, yeah.
Can do.
Yep, that would be great, thank you, yep. Sorry to shift gears, but
No,
that's it.
absolutely. We love to have that news out there. I did know that the buses were full. We are actually hosting another Vietnam commemorative dinner, but that is also full. I wasn't going to mention it because sometimes when something is full, it creates some discontent. We have selected a Veteran of the Year. It is James Alt. He is from Bellevue, but lives in Seneca County. And it will be, the dinner will be held in Attica at their social building. And the cost of the dinner is $20 if you're a member of the public who would like to come honor James on his special day. He has his hands in everything. He's a wonderful man. He's very, very busy. Dave has something?
Just a few things that I have. I like to talk, and I'm as old as WTTF. which is lucky for me. I'm 77, and WTTF is 77, so years old. That's a long time to be broadcasting.
Used to listen to Indians games on the radio all the time, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say basically the same thing, that we were honored to have Jim Aldis, our Veteran of the Year, and that program, you've been to it, and it truly is spectacular. I mean, we've really involved the Veteran of the Year. We've invited them to the county fair, and they set off the cannon for the opening of the county fair. We've had them in the parades, the Veteran of the Year. We've tried to have them exposed to the public and whatever. And the last one was a Marine. So, and I think this next one is a Army.
Jim's Army.
Again, the commemorative dinner, Vietnam commemorative dinner, is completely full every year, and that's the pinning of the Vietnam veterans that have not been pinned, and we also invite the widows of veterans that have passed away, and it is a beautiful program for those. I wanted to announce too that Tiffin University is setting up, and I think it's a wonderful program because I play the guitar, is the Guitars for Vets program at Tiffin University. And the veteran, they give lessons to the veteran, and then at the end of graduation, he's actually presented a guitar. So, for those that have PTSD or whatever, it's just, it's wonderful. It gives them a hobby, or it gives them something to do, you know, and that they can be very proud of. Let's see, I wanted to announce too that Ralph Weintandy turned 99 years of age, and he is our World War II Seneca County veteran. So quite an achievement. You know, the WW2 veterans are passing away, and we surely want to think of Ralph and in our prayers, and for a lot more longevity. So
He's on the honor bus too.
yeah, he's on the honor bus for So that's all I have. I like to talk. So
Great.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
If any veteran is interested in making an application to go on the honor bus, we can put them in contact with the folks that run that show. Absolutely.
just one more thing is that, like I said, I like to talk, but it's been 31 years for me. Judge Spellerberg asked me if I would be on the Seneca County Veterans Service Board. And I thought, what is he getting me involved in this time? And it's something I've truly enjoyed for all these years. And this may be my last appointment. Judge Schuff and Judge Alt appointed me for a 5-year term, and I'll be even older than I am now. But 31 years I have been assisting veterans, and truly an enjoyable thing for me.
Thank you.
So Judge Meyer appoints somebody as well, right? The judge that comes from.
They're uncommonly
Common Pleas.
Yes.
You had something to do with that. No, okay. Stand correct. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions for me, anyone?
As always, nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Bring them up for a picture.
Oh, yes, we love.
Love it. If you guys want to come up for a picture, that'd be great.
Oh, heavens. Okay.
That one you have?
I think Mr. Breidenbach, all the veterans should come
Hi,
up.
how you doing, kid?
John, come on up, come on up. All you got, all the veterans come up.
Nice to see you.
That'd be great.
Oh my goodness.
All of us are going in the middle.
From the center.
Oh, darn it.
We can switch everybody in.
John, can you get, oh, maybe, never mind.
Stand next to this young lady there.
Everybody in there?
You should come together a little more.
Yeah, maybe the front row, can you
Turn
slide
sideways
over a little bit?
I love her.
Can you slide this way, maybe just a little bit?
Turn Slide left a little.
Yeah, everybody turn in.
Turn sideways. Sally, you feel pretty protected right now?
They're very safe.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Stay there. Okay. Everybody ready? It's a big photo. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Selling autographs.
Coming up to see you.
Sell it
Dignitaries.
A couple weeks, so he said yes?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to sneak out? Go ahead, otherwise. Okay, go ahead and sneak out if you want. The Presley's got a great report coming up.
Oh, they are, okay.
Is there anything else we need to go over before we go to Presley? Did I miss anything?
I think so.
We good, you guys? Your turn.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Presley, if you would, just introduce yourself and the whole process, please.
Cool.
Thank you.
So I'm Presley Burma. I'm the Seneca County Agriculture and Natural Resources Educator through the Ohio State University Extension here in Seneca County. And my job is to provide education, help farmers, help community members, and talk about some fun things like the spotted lanternfly. So the spotted lanternfly is an invasive species that not yet has been confirmed in Seneca County. ODA does the confirming, but they have confirmed it in several counties in Ohio, as well as several surrounding states. So the spotted lanternfly is native to China, India, and Vietnam, and it's a sap-feeding plant hopper, meaning even though it has beautiful wings, it doesn't actually fly. It's going to hop everywhere, cling on and hold on tight, ride your car, ride a train, ride a boat, and spread that way. They are attracted to fruit plants, ornamentals, and woody trees, and I have a list here of some of their favorites. The ones we're currently most worried about would be grapes and hops, but they can be attracted to some others like apples, hickory, things like that. Their favorite and their host, however, is the tree of heaven, and the tree of heaven is actually also an invasive species in Ohio. And if you have the tree of heaven and you want to get rid of it, you can contact our office for more tips and tricks on how to remove it from your property. I want to go over the identification of the spotted lanternfly through all of its life cycle. It starts out as these early nymphs, and they are black with white spots. You're going to see them really more in the springtime, April and May, and they're going to be really small, less than 1/4 inch. The late nymphs are going to be seen more in the summer, May to June, and they're going to be less than 1/2 inch in size. And the late nymphs are going to get this red coloring on their back, as you can see here in the pictures. And then you have egg masses. And egg masses are actually being seen now. You'll see them now through the first freeze. And the female will lay the eggs on any flat surface. The side of your house, your vehicle, trees, posts, anything like that, she's going to lay her eggs. So there's 3 pictures here of the egg masses. The first 2 pictures are covered egg masses. Once she has laid the eggs, she will put this protective covering over them to help keep them safe through the winter before they're ready to hatch. Or the 3rd picture over there is an uncovered egg mass, and those are the individual eggs. I handed out these little scrapers. It shows a half covered, and so half covered, half uncovered egg mass here. And you can use these scrapers to scrape the eggs off of whatever surface that they are found on into a bucket of just warm soapy water. It'll kill the eggs, and then you can dispose of it naturally. If you would like one of these scrapers, I have a pile of them up here. They also give you a picture of the adult, and they give you a QR code that you can scan on where to go to report. So with the adult, they're going to have 4 wings, and they look very pretty, as you can see here, but it is something that if you see it, please report it. They have a piercing sucking mouth part, and this piercing sucking mouth part is what is causing the issues when they're feeding on things like grapes and hops. And what is happening is they're using that piercing sucking mouth part to poke holes in the plant to suck out the nutrients. So not only are they taking the nutrients from the plant, but they're leaving exposures to that plant where other diseases and bacteria can get in. With the adult, they have the 4 wings. The front wings are translucent gray with black spots, and as you get farther out to the tips, the black spots turn into a tile pattern, and the hind legs are red with patches of black and white throughout. The adults are a little bigger than the nymphs. They are about 1 inch long, but at rest they're only about 1/2 inch wide. When they spread their wings, as you can see in this top picture from Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture, when they spread their wings they're only about 1.5 to 2 inches wide. So they're not very big, but when you see them, you know they're there. With a lot of infestations, there will be hundreds of these. You'll see them all on one tree. And when you're looking at the tree, you'll be like, oh, where's the bark? It's just all spotted lanternfly, and that's all you can see. If you've traveled to Pennsylvania, where some of these big infestations are, or even up in the Toledo area, or some other counties around Ohio where there are big infestations, they're pretty prevalent and you're able to see them. These are the counties that are currently quarantined for spotted lanternfly. This is as of November 2023, which is the most recent map that has been released. And you can see some counties close to us are Erie and Ottawa, and even up into Lucas County. And if you travel to any of these counties, when you're leaving, go through a car wash. Because these guys, they're going to jump on your car, and they're going to hold on, and they're going to ride with you all the way back home. So going through a car wash is going to help make sure that there's nothing holding on to your vehicle, your trailer, your truck, whatever it is, and you can come home safely. If you see it, if you detect it, collect it. If you see it, report it. You can report directly to ODA on their ODA SLF webpage. If you just type that into Google, it's the very first page that comes up. I also have these cards laying over here if you haven't got one. It has the pictures of all the different life cycles in the adults. It talks a lot about what I talked about today, as well as it has a QR code where you can go to report as well. You can also report directly to ODA via their email, plantpest@agri.ohio.gov, or by phone. But no matter how you report, your report needs to be as detailed as possible. A picture of what you saw, the exact location of where you saw it, the time of day, the actual date, what you saw, description of what you saw, where it was, if you can identify the plant that it was on. If you took a picture of it, upload the picture of it, and then your contact information so they can contact you if they need to talk more about what you saw. You can also download the Great Lakes Early Detection Network app and report it directly on there. That app is for all invasive species, so you can report the tree heaven or any other invasive species that you want to report. You can also use the app to see if any reports are in your area of any of the invasive species in the that are within the app. And these are just some pictures of some nymphs. These are the first stage nymphs. They're black with white dots. That's one crawling on my hand, so you can see just how small they actually are. And we have some other ones here on grapevines and other areas, but this is pretty common. When you have an infestation, this is what you're going to see. Like I said, I do have more of these up here. If anybody wants some, they're on the table. Grab one on your way out, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Wow. I got a question.
Yeah.
What do you do on a large scale to take care of them?
So there are commercial pesticides that you can use on them. And if you want to learn more about that, you can call the extension office. ODA is doing a lot to help with large scale containment of them. You can also trap for them if you're curious to see if they're even there.
I didn't know if there was, there's been a lot of other infestations that have been aerial spray and things. I didn't know if that is something that is a potential.
A potential, yep. Yep, and they're looking into all the different ways that we can control them. They first were seen in Pennsylvania, so Pennsylvania is helping lead the effort and seeing what all works. And ODA, the Ohio Department of Agriculture, is working with that as well. Thank you. Any questions from you? Thank you.
We had Barrett Zimmerman in with the bees, and they're very similar.
Yeah.
With the mites, mites. Thanks, Presley.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks for having us. I wanted to stay for that presentation.
Go ahead and grab a card and a...
Grab it.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so much. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
If it gets real bad, Presley will send the Marines in. You got it covered when you can go in there and get rid of those guys, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All this stuff coming in from Asia is just doing it. It's creating havoc.
When you have all those
And the
ships
ash
coming
boards.
back, containers.
Our system here can't do it.
It's just my bad. Yeah. Commissioner reports will go with you, Bill.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
good.
So last Thursday, went over to Sandusky County, they had the projects for the road infrastructure for our state roads, laid out kind of for Seneca County, and so I got busy talking and I grabbed all of Ottawa County's projects, so I called April and she's gonna get us the Seneca County one, so I took them out of you guys' boxes, so, right, so that's what, yeah, I got, so we know what's happening in Ottawa County, so, no, there's some, looks like some good projects. It's 26 to 29, 2026 to 2029 proposed grant projects and stuff on that. So
I was wondering why that was in my mailbox, Mike. What's
Yeah,
the discussion we're having on this?
Right. So yeah, so that was yeah. I'm going to blame it on COVID or whatever. So right, but anyway, last Friday, Barb and I went out and met with the sheriff, the chief of police of Tiffin and Fostoria, and the new, soon-to-be the coroner-elect, Dr. West, just to kind of get, how the coroner's office currently works, how, what needs changed or improved and stuff with that. So that was, I think, a great meeting to kind of see where everybody's at, with, how he can help lead in January and stuff on that. So
That's the sheriff calling me.
yeah, right.
Turn this off. Oh, it was off.
Sunday, was out to Pleasant Ridge, had their 200th anniversary out there for the church. Nice turnout. The church was full of everybody that's, related to how, the Egberts, how it started, and all the way through to current members and stuff out there. So did a nice, it was, a good hour and a half, hour and 45-minute dedication and talking, and so it was a fantastic event out there. They did a nice job putting that all together for, kind of a smaller congregation and stuff on it. So kudos to, Pastor Jenny and all the members that helped put that together. So this morning went down to WTTF, talked about, so next Tuesday starts early voting. So for anybody, go down to Board of Elections, start voting. As they get closer to the November 5th election, they'll start, extending hours and stuff with that. You have until Monday to, if you need to update addresses, any of your information, stuff on that. You have to do. They are also, starting tomorrow, is a training for anybody who is going to be a poll worker. So my wife and I, we've been poll workers for quite a few years, so we're going down to our training. They are also looking for poll workers if anybody wants to do that. I think it's a great experience to see how the whole election process works. So they are in need of some more poll workers if anybody has time to do that. So yeah, so that brings us up to now. So
Good.
All right, last Thursday, met up with Jimmy Flint, got to catch up on some county projects here with North Central Electric. We also had the Cornerstone Lane at the new community kitchen, which is right behind the courthouse and the annex. It was well attended, had a nice little ceremony. It's going to be a pretty neat project by the time they're done. It's going to tie into with the farmers markets they're doing, give some classes, teach people about culinary skills, maybe hopefully start filling some of these voids that we're seeing in the food industry, keeping help and cooks and culinary people. So we got a lot of neat ideas for down there, so I hope that keeps moving forward. Monday we had our meeting here with the administrators, going over some stuff. Wednesday, Commissioner Paradiso and I attended the OSS solid waste meeting that was over in Fremont. This morning, Downtown Development Committee here for downtown Tiffin. Just a couple upcoming events here. They've got October 15th through the 17th. It's the Ohio Heritage Conference. On October 22nd is the Downtown Strategic Planning Session. And the 31st is the Accreditation and Self-Assessment with Heritage Ohio. So a lot going on here in October. Also, I want to say the third Thursday of the next upcoming event, I want to say it was Flannel Fest, which is a new one, so it should be a good time. And tomorrow I'll have Recovery Task Force, and that's with Mircha and his committee, so trying to figure out ways we can curb some of these drug issues and work together here with our electeds, our judges, law enforcement, city, county, villages, all that, so enjoyed one of those meetings, but there's a lot kind of going on behind the scenes, so that's all I got.
Busy. Just when I had Friday, what's today? When we have OPWC? Tuesday. So went out to the engineer's office and we scored and ranked the projects that were submitted for this next round of OPWC money. In English, it's probably $1 million plus or minus a little bit, and grants and loans for various projects. Fostoria and Tiffin both have really good projects, sewer-related projects, and a couple villages, so that went really well. I guess I'll leave it with that. We've been talking a little bit about the budget. I do want to insert that, probably bring that up every meeting. I think we're making some progress. Barb's beginning, she might even be past beginning. As you saw today with veterans coming in and talking about their budget, the process has begun, so we appreciate that. Yeah, I think I'll turn it over to you. That's all I have. Thank you.
I just have have some financial information for you. Excuse me. For the month of September, we collected just over $1.7 million in revenue for general fund, and we expended just over $1.7 million in expenses in the month of September. So we are doing pretty good right now. So I'm still kind of keeping an eye on it because we don't know where our sales tax is headed. So and I don't know what we should be receiving something for the sales tax that was the 10-day holiday, the sales tax holiday in August. That will come this month. So I'm interested to see how they calculate that. So that may, I'm a little nervous on that one. So. I just want to let you know that Budget Commission does meet on Tuesday, the 8th, to certify revenue for 2025. So we will jump start on that budget probably that morning, as soon as I know what that number is. I am going to review the revenue before it goes to Budget Commission to make sure that everything is included, make sure there's not anything missing. And I believe that Budget Commission has already stated that they will leave sales tax alone. There will not be an increase on that revenue for next year because we're trending below what they projected for this year. We're trending 3% below where we should be. So my recommendation was to leave it at the just over $12 million in revenue for next year, and we can make that adjustment if it starts to increase. If it starts to decrease, we can also make that adjustment, which means that people will have to have money taken out of their budgets. So we're being very conscious of where that budget money is right now. I got a text message from Jimmy this morning that I'd like to read to you. North Central Electric is organizing a donation drive to help victims of Hurricane Helene. One of the cooperative employees has family is stranded in Marshall, North Carolina, and they're working with a cooperative down there to get a truckload of non-perishable food and other essential items to try to help the communities impacted. They're asking people to contact the co-op for more details. They had a Facebook post that I shared on the commissioner's webpage as well. It does give a list of things that they're looking for. So we shared that post on our commissioner's Facebook page. But if you need anything, if you have anything, please get it to North Central Electric for that. It's just it's something that we all struggle with, I think.
TPC's really stepped up too.
So yeah, I think Tiffin Paper was doing a truckload of all water, I think is from what I had seen. So
seems like whenever there's a disaster, I mean, they really step up and they'll take drivers down.
Yeah, all of our community members really step up for those types of disasters, so, I did see, there was a news article about a gentleman, he has, I think it's a parent, that is on, a ventilator, and they cannot get in or out to them. So he is trekking up inside the side of a mountain, bringing supplies back, and one of the parents, I believe, also has insulin that, so they're trying to, so there's a lot, and it, in North Carolina got hit very, very hard. So,
I seen that there was a picture on social media where there was a Wendy's, and I mean, the water was up to the roof. I mean, imagine that. I just mean, it's wild.
A lot of bad stories.
yeah. So, also, I know I mentioned this last week, and Bill, you were not here, I believe. So the annual conference is December 4th through December 6th in Columbus. I believe I've reserved Tony's room, I reserved my room. I will get your registration set up, I'll get your rooms set up, just so that you're aware of that, so. And I will like to recommend at this point in October that we move that Thursday meeting to a Tuesday meeting. Just so that we don't have to go, because it's right around Thanksgiving and there'll be a break in there anyway, so we're just trying to make sure we accommodate.
If you want, I'm good now, if you want, just go ahead and get it.
Just remind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's fine, yeah,
So,
good. Everybody will know then.
yep, that's all I have right now.
So I do have one old business. When you brought up Jimmy, I wanted to bring
Okay.
this up for everybody. So we've talked once or twice, for sure, that many times, about a potential interest-free loan in working with North Central. So North Central Electric is, their board's approved, and they are starting out with, what do we call this, a revolving loan fund.
Yes.
It's a revolving loan fund, so they can go to their members throughout the area they serve and redeploy this money for, fire, EMS, really anything that, that would qualify, would fit that envelope to qualify. So we are the first, we are working together with them. We have been funded. We do know that much, that we were approved. So what I'm gonna do now, with Barb and I, we've been working on this for how long?
Months.
Months, okay, so
I think it was February.
so we've asked Jimmy to start, we haven't seen anything in paper, we have no paperwork. It's in the prosecutor and attorney's hands. Prosecutor's going through a murder trial, so it might be a couple weeks yet, but at some point, we're gonna begin looking at that. Amortization, the payback, and it does fit all these capital projects that we're doing, and including the payback on the energy investment. So that's coming. I just want everybody to know, you guys haven't seen it. But is that enough? You want to add anything to that? I just
No,
wanna be-
there's really not a
just wanna be
whole,
open
there's
that
not
it's
a whole
coming.
lot to report, just because it's between the attorneys trying to work on some details.
It's an interest-free loan for 10 years. There's different payments that you're working on. And that's pretty much, we'll leave it at that, right?
Yep.
Don't have the exact final number yet or anything, but, okay, that's all the old business I have. Does anybody want to bring anything else up?
Yeah, just one thing. I remember I mentioned something to you guys a few weeks ago. I said something to Barb. Were you planning on coming down to CCAO, Brad, or were you able to make it away for a few days?
Well, my plan was to do that, but, I think we were talking about that there may be limited stuff for incoming. And I'd definitely like to know what that stuff is.
You
We
get
haven't seen
information on that.
Haven't seen the schedule yet, they haven't posted the
Once
schedule
you see
yet.
the schedule, you can.
Because they have for new commissioners,
That's good.
one, yeah, so
If I don't
you'll
have
be
to
getting
spend the
that
night,
next.
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
If
You might want to come down one day.
I will, or
Yeah.
2 days, but not 3 if I.
It was pretty important when I went down my first, when I got
Yeah.
there,
I intend to go.
That's fair.
yeah.
Good.
I'm not gonna sit around if there's nothing for me to do while I'm there some days.
Exactly.
Just an idea. It's a.
No, I
if
will.
you guys are okay, then like I know we talked about like with us getting ready to start the budget process, might be good for you to sit in during that too and just kind of
Yeah, we had that.
see how things go, but, love to have you, so.
Appreciate it.
Good. Okay, Barb, back to you.
Okay, I have a few supplemental appropriations. I have two from the general fund. One is software license and service for $2,284.09. This came from the auditor's office. She couldn't come over to give the description of what she needed this money for, but she sent me an email. She's at a meeting in Columbus. She said that SSI, which is our accounting software, has in the past has absorbed the annual increases.
Is this in her budget now, or is this above and beyond what
This is she's asking for additional money, but we always pay support to SSI. So this is just an addition. But they have in the past absorbed the increases, but this year they just cannot continue to absorb this increase. And it is it's a 7% increase for the support that we receive from them. And coming from the auditor's office, that support is invaluable. There's just, they get back to you as quickly as possible, they resolve the issues. So that's the reason for that request of that $2,200. The other is the transfer out of $500,000. This is so that we can transfer some money to the capital projects fund. Then I have a juvenile probate services for supplies in the amount of $3,000 for a new washer and dryer at the youth center. Mental health and recovery services grant fund, contract services for $30,467.15. This is to pay, I believe, the remaining, one of the remaining balances with Oriana House. And then I have the Ohio Mental Health and Addictions Services Grant Fund, contract service line for $31,500. Again, I believe this pays a portion of that final invoice to Oriana House. The Dog and Kennel Fund, advertising and printing for $2,000. This is so that she can advertise for the public hearing for her fee increases that we discussed at last meeting. The Sewer District Fund for Bascom contract services in the amount of $15,000. This is for the utilities for the remainder of the year, and the County Sewer District Fund for the 23-24 contract services of $4,000, again, for utilities for the remainder of the year.
So moved to accept the supplemental appropriations.
I'll second. I have a few questions though.
What?
On the washer and dryer, 3,000, that's purchasing, not leasing, is it?
It's purchasing, and it's purchasing local.
Is it commercial grade?
It is.
Okay. And just something, I know you don't have this number now, but I'd be curious to see how much the county spends every year in software licenses and services and fee. I feel like that pops up every other week. That number's gotta be huge on what we're paying for the auditor's office, it's just, software licenses, it's a big,
It keeps growing.
it never stops. I'd be curious to know what that number is.
Technology is great, everybody goes to technology, but there's a reason Microsoft and those companies are trillion-dollar companies. They got you. You're in, and there's a 7% increase.
I know government's
And
different than
They just
personal
keep
use.
raising, but you make a good point, because it's, all electeds, including ourselves, have just passed on increases. It's crazy. John, you see it, right? And I don't know how you control it or what you.
Like if you buy a computer program for yourself or your personal
Yeah.
house, like you buy, you pay for it, it's yours, but it's just,
Yeah.
these subscriptions, it just
It's a lot.
really adds up.
Something we're gonna have to look at all the time, Brett, because it's not going away. Anything else?
Are we required by law to advertise for like a fee increase for the
Yes,
kennel?
it's ORC.
2,000, okay.
Yep, it is ORC, and it's probably gonna be a pretty good size ad, because I just put an ad in the paper and it was $1,000.
An ad in the paper suffices, we don't send like a mailer to each person then?
That's our public knowledge of notification, that it goes in a local, how do they word it, local circular, so that it would have to be the newspaper. I do also put things on our website, but I mean, doesn't constitute
Yeah.
it being a circular.
I'm
It's
so with that
not
with-
public. I mean, it is public, but most people don't go to the website. The newspaper, people get in their mail, or they get it on their front doorstep, so they, you know,
Or online.
it's, so it is published out there. So we have, I mean, by law, by ORC, we have to do those things.
With things tightening up, I'm gonna ask a lot of questions, so, sorry.
Fine, well, that's good. Anything else under the sub-apps? We have a first and a second. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Freicher?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
On to resolutions. A resolution authorizing fund transfer be made to the capital improvement fund in the amount of $500,000.
So moved. I'll second that. Roll call?
Commissioner Freicher?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes. And by the way, as these projects become clearer, more definitive on actual cost, you know, we started here and we're bringing this down, which is really good. The range of which we've had some over, we've had some savings. And we'll be doing this again, I anticipate.
I anticipate too.
Okay, just so we got that out there. Okay. Next.
Resolution authorizing fund transfer be made from the LGF alternative formula to the ambulance service fund in the amount of $500,000.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, you want to just explain that? That's just a budget move, right?
Yeah, it's just the money that we get from our LGF, and we just move that over to EMS. It will go to EMS for them for service or, you know, whatever they need, their supplies, their contract
Goes in
services.
that budget. Okay?
Commissioner Freicher?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Resolution to increase the compensation established for special counsel in Commissioner Resolution 2023-24. This is for the General Health District, that their outside counsel shall not exceed $210,000 for calendar year 2024.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Questions?
Can you explain that one just a little bit?
It's, so they have special counsel in regards to the landfill.
Oh,
So
lawsuits.
the prosecutor has asked for this increase since they need special prosecution, or special counsel.
Roll call?
Commissioner Freicher?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Accepting the bid for GD Century Farms for leasing the farm located in Hopewell Township on a cash rent per acre basis and authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into a lease.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Roll call?
Commissioner Freicher?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
One correction I need to make, sorry.
No, maybe once. I didn't notice that.
Resolution authorizing the Seneca County Commissioners to enter into an agreement with RS Associates LLC. This is for consulting services for the mitigation, sorry.
Drive it down, John?
I did not have to drive it down. He got sick and we did it over the internet,
Nice.
Good.
which I don't know why they didn't just offer that to begin with.
So moved on the resolution.
Second.
Okay, we beat you to the Treasurer
Fine,
Commissioner.
you're good.
So, John, while you're here, any updates?
The mitigation plan, it's a 5-year plan. Last time we did it was in 2019. It was the first thing I did when I took this job. So they dumped me right into a big pot of boiling water. I had no idea what it was. Learned a lot this time around. We're on a short, truncated timeline because our plan expires January 25th, 2025. My contractor assures me that we'll have no problem getting it done and getting it submitted. That contractor did the last one as well, and has also done our emergency operations plan that we did over a couple of years here. The reason was FEMA. We applied through the BRIC grant program 2022, which was in 2023 and covers all the way through the end of 2025. We applied last October because that's when we found out that there was no money in the hazard mitigation grant program. So we had to go to a different grant program, the BRIC program. FEMA took 7 months to approve it because, and I found out yesterday during the grant agreement signing, that the reason is that FEMA didn't have the funding yet in their coffers in order to approve. So it held us out. We were supposed to find out in August, which would have allowed us to start the process. These meetings that I emailed you guys about, we would have been able to start weeks ago. So I was about to just ignore the grant because we have to do the program. The mitigation plan is the plan that allows for a lot of the other grants that counties apply for, whether it's for emergency services or any other grant. It's the one they refer back to see that we did our due diligence and looking ahead and seeing what our future problems may be and what we want to attack. So when you pull a grant or you apply for a grant somewhere else, they'll go, do you have a mitigation grant? Is this addressed in your mitigation plan? So we have to have it. We really have to have it or it's going to cause a problem in the future. So I was just going to go ahead and do it without the BRIC grant. We couldn't wait any longer. It had to get done the night before, as you guys know at the last meeting. The night before, I found out we got the grant. So I had to hurry up and get those grant agreements signed, and here we are today, ready to sign the contract. And we start those meetings on the 16th, 17th, 18th. We'll have another round of meetings in November, and then public input on the draft plan in December, and it'll get submitted first week of January.
I have a question. A resident asked me a few weeks ago, they asked if the county had, or how many they had fallout shelters. Do you know?
No, we don't have a list of fallout shelters. I think they stopped really tracking that stuff probably 1991 when the Cold War ended. There are places that were fallout shelters, but they're not maintained as such, like the basement at a high school or places like that.
East Tower used to have. Someone asked me that the other day, and it's like, I know when they used to build schools, they used to have those, but someone asked me that the other day, I was like, honestly, I don't know.
Right, and the new buildings don't generally have stuff like that unless they have a basement, and then what they do is they look at the basement and go, oh, put a sign there, fallout shelter, this is where you go.
Yeah.
Is it built to withstand radiation? No, but it is as far below ground as you can get, locally, unless you were to try to start building those, and right now I don't think there's any funding for it, so nobody builds them.
Yeah, someone threw me a curveball the other day, I just figured if anybody would, it be you, so,
yep.
Thank you.
By the way, this grant and this program, and getting this grant saves the county $25,500.
That's the main reason I want you to talk.
Yeah. I didn't want to spend it. We're going to
get a nice job by...
We're going to get 100% of that funding back from the BRIC grant. 80% of it is the $25,500. The other $8,000, actually it's a $4,000 grant, $34,000 grant, so $9,000 will be covered by in-kind participation. So every person that comes to a meeting, we write it down. And we track that, and there's a monetary amount for it. And that'll cover all of the cost of the grant. It'll cost the county nothing.
Yeah, nice job. So we have a first and a second. Roll call.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradis?
Yes.
Resolution setting date, time, and place to receive requests for qualifications for the planning consultant at the Seneca County Regional Airport.
So moved.
I'll second.
We know this is coming. The airport has a 10-year plan, a rolling 10-year plan. We meet every year annually with the FAA to update that plan. Last year when we updated it, finally after 30 years maybe, we're getting to the point where extending the Seneca County runway is now formally being investigated. There's been a lot of talk about it. The farm lease we agreed to earlier is actually the land south of the airport. So the commissioners have the land. We've been buying homes, we've been clearing trees. So the next step is to conduct a master plan. This is a very thorough, this could be $500,000 plan. It's going to take 2 years or so. The FAA would approve it. So this is the beginning of us advertising for a firm that's willing to put their name in the hat. We will score them, run it by the FAA. Everything's settled, then the FAA funding, we have funding, they will pay them. So, pretty excited about that. That's kind of in our 10-year plan. This is in our next 2-year, this is what we'd like to do in the next couple of years with the money that we have, is to conduct this master plan. It'll be very thorough and tell us a lot of things, so that's what that is.
And just so you know, that opening is on October 24th at 10 a.m. here.
Okay, awesome. Any other discussion? You guys have any questions on it or anything? Roll call.
Commissioner Frankert?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradisa?
Yes.
The last resolution that I have is resolution entering into an assignment and assumption agreement by and among Tiffin Air Incorporated, Tiffin Buyer LLC, and County of Seneca, State of Ohio.
Motion to approve the resolution?
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a lease with Tiffin Air, and they sold some of the business to another buyer, so this would be basically assigning the lease to them. The Newmans are still there, they own the buildings, it's all positive for everybody. And the beauty of this agreement is, and I think I just want to say it, because we're going to sign it a little bit, we talked about 25 years, 23 years left. But we're one of the few airports our size in our area where we really don't dump a ton of money in it. I mean, they pay us $1 and they run it. Where if you went to Fostoria, Sandusky County, Findlay, the commissioners are paying a person full-time to be there. I mean, it's approximately $100,000 Sandusky County puts into their airport. It might be more. We don't do that. So we're blessed to have a well-run airport. We're a regional airport. We have a lot of planes coming in and out to get serviced and maintained. We get this airport extension, it can only help us as far as just for the area to bring planes in and so forth. So finish there. Any other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Schuff, or I'm sorry, Commissioner Frankert?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradisa?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay, anything else from you? Good.
If we have people coming up and asking us for more money here before the end of the year, should we have them come up and just explain why, or, Matt, with things tightening up, I'd like to.
Well, and I knew that, and I talked to Julie, and I knew she was gonna be out of town. That's why she sent me the email directly from the accounting software that said this is why we had to do this.
So go ahead and repeat that, because I think that.
Yeah, it's like, so like, with things tightening up here, and we got the budget season that we're getting ready to enter into, people are gonna come up here and ask us for more money. I think we need to at least get an explanation or let the public hear what they need it for, why, and, that'd be my, suggestion.
Hey, we're accountable to the public. So I just think it's absolute the way it should be. We have people that can count. And I will make this statement too, for the public. I do this so everybody understands kind of how we work. So there could be a lease that comes up, or a department may say, hey, we'd like to buy 3 vehicles, you know? And so what we do now is, I know you asked them, so you're asking her questions. Well, why do they need the 3? How many miles are on the cars? with the age of the cars. So I just want the public to know, and I know the new mayor of Tiffin, Wilkinson, does the same thing. And sometimes people get offended when you know, John, and when you're elected and you're just used to kind of sending things in and everything gets approved, and then all of a sudden the commissioners are saying, why do you need it? Or, you know, we want to see a copy of the lease, or we're pulling out cost allocation to decide what the renewal rent should be at Job and Family, let's say. That adds a lot more work to Barb. We all want it, and we're gonna do it. So we're gonna go at the pace that we can do it, right, Barb? And sometimes it slows things down, but I think everybody should feel good about the fact we got a lot of eyes on this, and we're looking at things. And I really like the process that we've kind of established here on these things. And sometimes it does slow everything down. And you might get offended if we ask you, John, why do you need that? But we're just trying to understand what we're approving. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you said that.
To the budget, yes.
Yeah, and Barb's asking, you know, I like it. So that's all I have. Anybody want to add anything for public comment? Any public comment at this point?
Okay, you have to listen to me
Back
one
up,
more time. Okay, so I just have some events coming up, several actually programs and things that I'm doing, and I wanted to talk about them. So the first one here is October 16th, and it's about mushroom production. So you come, you learn how to grow your own mushrooms at home, and then we'll actually sit there and use oyster mushroom inoculates to put them into a toilet paper roll. You take that home and you can grow your own mushrooms. And it's the start of your own little mushroom farm there. So that's the first event or program. The second one is a nutrient management workshop. This is going to be more geared towards farmers who are basically using their resources, doing their farm management, and they want whatever they're doing, their plan, to line up with the tri-state recommendations. So we'll go through, there's 3 sessions, and each session is kind of on a different topic of how to use your resources safely and correctly when it comes to nutrient management, and how to increase your profits when you're using those resources. And both of those you need to RSVP for if you want to attend, just so we can have an idea of who's attending. The next one is the Bat Week celebration. I did it last year, and I will be doing it again this year. I have some more activities and exciting things planned, and in conjunction with this, I am actually working with one of my colleagues in the branding department of OSU to get a children's Bat Fact coloring / activity book made. That is OSU based, so I'm very excited about that. That's one of the things I'm working on as well, kind of in the bat related world. And the last thing I have is a farm business management program. This one is also 3 sessions, and if you already have a farm business, or if you want to start one, you're looking to start one, you could attend this, and it's just trying to help make your farm business more successful. The first session is going to be kind of an introduction to farm business, laying out all the things that you need to then use sessions 2 and 3 to become more successful. The second session is farm financial documents and taxes, and the third session is actually looking at what you have and trying to price your product and learning how to price your product, and looking at what you've been doing, your management strategies, and turning that into a more efficient method. So there you
So
go.
probably I do have a question on your October 30th. So are you going to maybe address how to make a small fortune farming?
As much as I can.
You know how you make we'll give you the secret.
Okay.
How to make a small fortune farming. Start with a large one.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Do you have a favorite? I love it. You come in and we have invasive species, and we have goats, and we have bats, and we have produce, and we have.
I had a call around bats a few weeks ago.
You just enjoy the whole variety.
Oh, yeah.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, I mean, I had the vegetable farm, I had animals at home,
Yeah, yeah.
my bachelor's degree is in animal science, my master's degree that I'm working on currently is in plant science, so I kind of got it all. I love
And it
everything.
kind of all fits together in a way,
It
doesn't it?
does, yeah.
Do you put all these together yourself too, like put like the flyers, the events? I mean, it's all you. That's impressive.
Yep, the nutrient management series and
I mean, that's a lot of
farm
events,
business
a lot of
series,
planning.
I'm having other speakers come in from OSU to help. We have a lot of farm specialists and field specialists in those categories, so they're helping me teach some of those. But I put it all together, got it all organized.
We're trying to get
Excited.
we're trying to get you a new office, you know that.
Yes.
We're working, yeah. But you don't need an office, you're just, you're out in the field, yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, it's really good. Anybody else want to make a comment, John?
I just want to make an official announcement about some upcoming public meetings
Okay.
at EMA. LEPC meeting October 15th. That'll be lunch at 11:30. Noon begins the meeting. This meeting will address the budget for LEPC next year as well as contract with EMA from LEPC next year. Then October 16th, 17th, and 18th are the mitigation planning meetings. They are open to the public, and public is welcome to come and participate. We want as many people. I've been sending out emails for the last 3 days with all this information to groups of people and everybody I can think of in the county to come in and give their input on the mitigation plan. The more information we have, the better we are prepared for mitigation processes in the future. So although I've sent it out to individuals, I've asked them to please invite their department heads, please invite their employees, please invite whoever wants to come. We'll talk to everybody. They'll get a better understanding of the planning process and we'll get their input. It's necessary. So that is starting at 8 a.m. next Wednesday morning, not next Wednesday, I'm sorry, the 16th, 2 weeks from yesterday. It'll go all day to about 7 o'clock Wednesday night. And then Thursday is till 6, and then Friday morning is like anybody who couldn't make the other meetings is welcome to come that morning. We'll talk to anybody.
But you got a difference, it's not like it's an 8 to 6 o'clock meeting, you've got.
Right. It's broken up into 90-minute sections if necessary. Sometimes those sections won't take that long. So you come and leave as you need
Go
to.
sit there for 2-3 days, you lose your mind.
I'll be, myself and the contractor are the only ones sitting there for 3 days, but that's okay. So, but those are public meetings and they will be put out
Are you on the LEPC?
publicly, so.
I think you're a representative, right? So, it's 11:16, but the LEPC is made up of, for the public, how many people who, we have one commissioner that sits on there.
Right. So we have the LEPC committee is made up of sections of the county infrastructure. We got business, it's, first of all, it's the Local Emergency Planning Commission. It's required by law through CERC and the Ohio EPA. It's funded through reporting of industry that has hazardous material. So every year we get a check for anywhere from $19,000 to $22,000 from the EPA to help fund that. We provide hazardous material cleanup products, services, inspections, and the board is made up of people from the fire service and the police department and health service and EMS and hospital, and there's somebody from each one of those sections that votes on that committee. But it is an open meeting, it is a public meeting, so it's held 4 times a year.
And so Commissioner Frankert's our representative.
Yeah.
Currently to
Yep.
that. There's another assignment. Barb, you go to all the
Yep.
meetings too, so you must have a formal seat spot.
Yes, yeah, she's part of administration. She's a board member.
Okay.
So, yeah, and it's 4 times a year, and my goal is less than an hour for that meeting. And then I feed you so that you'll come. So, we get pretty
I
good.
always come for the pizza.
That's right.
Even though I'm not invited.
Oh, yeah, and you're welcome. It's public meeting.
It is. I've never, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we okay? Next meeting?
Yep, next meeting's Thursday.
Thursday at 10? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.